Ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of marketing tools trying to keep your business running smoothly? What if you could simplify it all with one platform? That's where Go High Level comes in, your all-in-one sales and marketing solution built for small businesses like you. In fact, Go High Level has over 1 million users just like you. With Go High Level, you can capture leads, automate your prospect and client journeys, quickly and efficiently build stunning websites, sales pages, and sales funnels. Imagine managing your CRM, email, SMS, and funnels without duct taping a dozen tools together. Plus, their unlimited plan lets you add as many contacts and users as you need, no hidden fees. We've been using Go High Level for over a year now and absolutely love it. In fact, Profit First Nation is also powered by Go High Level. Ready to level up? Start your Profit First Nation extended 30-day free trial today at www.gohighlevel.com/Profit First Nation. That's www.gohighlevel.com/Profit First Nation. Streamline your workflow, impress your clients, and grow smarter, not harder.
Welcome to Profit First Nation, the official podcast for entrepreneurs who are operating their businesses in the zone of permanent profitability. I'm Mike Michalowicz, the author of Profit First, and now here's your Profit First Nation guide, Daniel Mulvey.
All right, today I would like to welcome Hannah Cox, the execution expert and my actual accountability coach. She is a mindset and productivity coach and the founder of Execution Expert. Hannah helps overwhelmed entrepreneurs like me and like you stop spinning their wheels and finally follow through on the projects that matter most. Through practical systems, accountability, and a proven coaching approach, Hannah turns big ideas into real momentum and finished results. And I am so excited that I have this opportunity to welcome you to Profit First Nation podcast, Hannah.
Yes, I'm excited too. Thank you for having me.
And today is about the 5 today strategies for entrepreneurs with ADHD. Whether you think you have ADHD, whether you are formally diagnosed with ADHD, I think that a lot of entrepreneurs are visionaries like myself, and we see the world as an opportunity to just make things better. And so we can't help ourselves of seeing visions of making things better. And then again, I'm speaking for myself and for the audience that it becomes a bit overwhelming. And so we end up struggling to get those visions to become reality because we just keep visioning, we keep adding more to our plate in terms of things that we want to make better and such. And then it becomes, 10 things become 20 things become 100 things and such. And so you and I have been working together for about a year and a half now. And it has just really helped me get unstuck, especially as I've grown what I'm doing and how much I'm doing with additional businesses and such. So I'm really excited to have you today. And why don't we just dive right in? I'm sorry, I just talk, teeing everyone up for you and all of your brilliance. But so there's 5 today strategies. And let's start with number 1.
Yeah. And I think it's important too, the visionary that you're talking about, this is that baseline mindset for entrepreneurs. And when you add the layer of ADHD on top of that, it feels impossible to achieve your vision. So yeah, I've developed these 5 strategies or 5 like today tips. You could do it today and it would change your business and how you approach getting your stuff done. So the first one is connecting with your ideal life. So this is one of the first conversations that I have with clients. And it is just, I ask them straight out, if you could snap your fingers and teleport yourself into your ideal life, what does that look like? And not just for business, for everything. Where do you live? What do you do in your free time? How do you make money? All of those things. And kind of really having a clear definition of that helps you with then figuring out, how does your business fit into this ideal life? And the reason why this is the foundation of making sure you get stuff done is because that ideal life and vision that you feel really excited for and on fire for, we're going to use that for, like, as gasoline on your motivation whenever things are tough, whenever you feel really blocked about getting something done or even starting something. Being able to reconnect and say, if you send this email, it directly connects to living on the beach side property with your wife and family and working 20 hours a week and changing the world. And so that's definitely the first step, and it's the big one.
And, that has really helped me, especially in kind of going through what I've been going through over the last year or so of kind of like envisioning what my life is going forward, since my kids are, off to college, and I've got a whole just kind of new world ahead of me and such. And so that has been so instrumental in helping me with the momentum to like keep things moving forward, because I know the direction that I'm going in and such. And you've got a wonderful blueprint for the listeners. So most of you are driving, and I'm always a fan of having resources and such that you can access, so that you can take what we're talking about and put it into action. And so Hannah has put that together. So I just want you guys to know we're talking about these concepts, but actually Hannah has a blueprint for you guys at the end of this that will actually walk you through very easily. And again, like, this is stuff that you can do today and now, because you're either stuck, you've wanted to do things, but you haven't done them in the last 6 months. You haven't gotten them done in the last year. Maybe you haven't gotten them done in the last 3 years. And so this will help you sort of start to get clarity around where you're going and why you're going there and such. And I just love how you challenge myself and other entrepreneurs to, do the deep work, but also respect the fact that we don't have 5 hours to just sit unto ourselves and contemplate the world in this. And so you have it in really good bite size. Let's get it done now. Let's get it done today action. So just a little teaser for you guys. So number 1, align with your ideal life. Number 2, what's number 2?
So number 2 is when we're really starting to take action. So this is where you reverse engineer your ideal life to where you are now. And the way that you do this is, let's say you've identified your ideal life and you have identified how your business fits into that ideal life. And you're like, oh man, I need to sell my company in 3 years to make this a reality. Well, then what we're going to do is cut that in half and say half of 3 years is 18 months. What do you need to accomplish in 18 months to make sure you're on track? And just think numbers, think big. You don't have to be really specific here. Just, if I want to sell it by this time, I need to have, this much revenue by this time. And then we're going to take that goal and we're going to cut it into 12 months. Okay, well, in the next year, where do you need to be? And then we're going to cut that into quarters. And we're going to talk about really focusing on the next quarter, your next 3 months, because everything else may change with action. So we don't want to worry too much about what 18 months and 1 year look like, or even the fourth quarter. You focus on that quarter 1, and you know exactly what needs to get done. And at that point, you break it into 1-month goals and then weekly goals. And so that reverse engineering practice takes a little bit of practice, but It definitely is something that at the end of it, you're going to feel really excited because all of a sudden you have a path and a blueprint to making your ideal life a reality.
And I have to say, in doing this with you, that there were many a weeks where I would feel a bit overwhelmed about things and a bit frustrated that I wasn't I wasn't making my goal and such. But I think that if I didn't have that broken down, you're not going to hit everything, but you have now the roadmap to get you back on track when you get off track and such. And I do remember there were some weeks where I'm going to be honest, because I felt this and such, and I was just kind of mad and frustrated with you, because I felt that you were pushing me too hard. But I just want to say, without crying, that I'm very thankful for all of that, and I'm thankful that you helped me like stay on that plan, because nothing happens overnight, and we have big visions for big things as entrepreneurs and such. And so it takes perseverance, it takes work, but most importantly, it takes a plan. And you guys know that I'm a big fan of reverse engineering. I think everything needs to be reverse engineered. You started with me in Profit First, guys, by reverse engineering from owner's pay what your business needs to look like and such. So you guys know the power of reverse engineering, and you've probably done it for things in your business, but now we need to apply reverse engineering to your life as an entrepreneur. Okay, number 3.
So, number 3 is focusing on prioritizing leverage. And this one's a little bit tricky because, you've broken this down month by month, quarter by quarter, week by week, and you're probably looking at your list of to-dos and say, "Oh, if I'm going to make this happen, this week I have 50 things that I have to get checked off." And that's not always the case. I think if you really want to see the results accelerated and to get to that ideal life as quickly as possible, you have to prioritize what we call a high leverage task. And so let me explain to you a little bit about how you identify that. There is this model called the Eisenhower matrix where it breaks up your everyday tasks into 4 quadrants. It's either important and urgent. These are things that you are doing in your business, client work. It's what pays the bills. It's important, it's urgent. There are things that are not important but urgent. And these are things like paying taxes or paying your employees. They're not important to the growth of your company. They are important. They're not important to the growth of your company, but they are urgent. So they need to get done on a timeline. Then there are the things that are not important and not urgent, and that's inbox 0, organizing your workspace. These things don't contribute to the growth of your business, and they also do not need to be done today.
But kind of the things that can give us that quick dopamine hit of,
Yeah.
well, that was easy and I felt successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's the one I get pushed back on a lot. A lot of people talk about my mindset is so clear when my desk is clear. And that's true. But what are
It's
you
procrastination.
sacrificing?
It's
Yeah.
procrastination.
And then, of course, the high leverage task then falls in that final quadrant of it's important, but not urgent. These are the things that if you don't do it today, nothing good or bad is going to happen. Nothing changes. But if you did them today, you are accelerating the growth and you are setting yourself up for success in the future quarters and future goals that you have already outlined.
And I think that's kind of that was the big secret, I think, that I never had until I started working with you. That it was, and it was keeping me on that track, and keeping that leverage going, even when like I wanted to fight it and I didn't want to do it. And so it is about prioritizing those leveraged things and putting them up higher, even though, as you say, they're not urgent and not important right now. Like, you know, they're in that box that, like, it's there, but and it's always there, but we do have to make some traction on it.
Mhm.
And kind of just make sure that everything's getting done and everything's getting attention, right?
Right. Yeah, and that leads into the next step, which is, okay, Hannah, I've prioritized 3 things that are high leverage this week. What do I do with the other 47 things? And that's delegate. Delegation is the secret sauce to scaling and growing in your business and in your life, in your ideal life. So whether this is something that you are going to go do some independent contractor on, Upwork, or you have dedicated employees, or you should be hiring employees, this is something that needs to be a priority if you want to accelerate yourself into your ideal life.
So let's talk really quickly about some delegation strategies and just maybe, I think that this is huge. This is huge, but I also think this paralyzes people sometimes. Because again, that visionary, I see you. I see you guys. I am you. We see something and we see something that is 1,000 times better. And we have this perfect vision for something, and we tend to think that we have to do it ourselves because we're the only ones that know how to do it, and no one else can do it good enough. But the one thing that I have also kind of realized over the years and such is that I'm the only one that sees what that 1,000% looks like. I can have a positive impact on this world by dialing down that vision to, like, hey, let's make it, we don't have to make it 1,000% better. We can make it 100% better. We can make it 70% better. And it's still going to have a big impact on the world. So I just want to say, you guys really have to embrace delegation, and you have to lead whoever you're delegating, but also know that it doesn't have to be perfect. It
Mm-hmm.
just has to be better.
Yeah. And to your point about it could be 70% better, that's just for now. You can have the 1000% better, but you're breaking it up into steps. It's a lot more achievable to do 70% better and have someone else do it. And then you're training them and you're molding them into your vision. And now they're providing 100%. And then you get someone else in, and now together they're doing 200%. So I think that relinquishing control is a really big thing, the perfectionism. And that's why, I consider myself a mindset and productivity coach, because a lot of this is all stuff you could do today, but you're going to have to change your mindset around how you're approaching your business and your goals so that you can do it faster.
I always think of the analogy of football, and you're trying to get the ball down the field to the end zone. And when you look at professional athletes, I mean, and you look at quarterbacks, and the best quarterbacks of all time, didn't get a touchdown every time that their team had possession of the ball.
Right.
But they came back out the next time the possession came around, and they tried again, and maybe they didn't get it. I mean, many teams score 0 in a game and such, but it's that you keep showing up, and you keep going, and you keep trying to make that play, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what is the next play? And you might get 2 yards, you might get 4 yards, you might get that Hail Mary 70 yards, but the point is that you're taking action, and the quarterback isn't going to get that ball down the field if he doesn't have the team around him, if he doesn't have his, offensive line, if he doesn't have his running backs, if he doesn't have his receivers, one man going up against the defense is never going to do it. So think about how a football player delegates to his team, and really, you're like the quarterback of the team. You're going to call the plays, but you're not going to be scoring all the points.
Right. And listen, we still celebrate first down. And celebration is such a big thing. I don't want to get off the rails too much, but that's a huge thing. You have to celebrate your first downs and your second downs and your touchdowns. Everything needs to be celebrated.
But this was really key, and I know that this is a big hang up for entrepreneurs is delegation, and just trusting other people to do things. And if you're struggling, well, I don't have anyone, well, yes, you can find people. And please, you know me, the All In Company, all things to help you understand what you need. There are people out there that can do anything that you do better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So please, just delegate. And then number 5, Hannah.
Number 5 is a big one, and it's accountability. You really have to have accountability to get these things done. Otherwise, most entrepreneurs are isolated. They're solopreneurs. They have these visions. They share it with everyone. Everyone's like, yeah, that's great. Good job. But no one's there with them saying, hey, did you send that email? Did you choose that person to interview yet? All of these things that you need to be doing to get to that bigger picture. It's fine to have it all written down. That's great. That's the first step. Write it down, have it in front of you. But then you have to do it. And if there's no one there to hold you accountable, does it get done?
And it's really, I think it's obviously, for me, it's someone like you. It is you, an external accountability partner who, can just call you on your shit, and just, again, make sure that we're, if we dropped the ball, if we fumbled it, we're picking it back up and such. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe the magic or how you do things and such, but every week it became easy, it became routine, it became habit, and I knew that I was making progress week over week, so it just kind of became something that I didn't want to not do. I'm not saying that it was easy at first, and I'm not saying that it was that I don't have some weeks where I struggle, and my week gets hijacked, or something just crazy happens and such. But at least I know I can look at this and I can say, but I can get these 3 things done before my Hannah call.
Yeah.
and so it keeps you on that track. It keeps you from going off the rails. It keeps you from, right now I'm thinking about what I really want to do today is organize my garage, because it kind of got blown up when we were looking for something on Friday. And but I can't.
Right.
Because I don't have room for it in my plan. But it would make me feel good. It would make me feel better. It'd be easier than what I actually need to do. That is urgent and important. And but the added factor of the accountability, really, because no one's holding me accountable to cleaning my garage.
Right. And to your point too, it being external accountability is really important, because you do have your spouses, your business partners, these people who care and love about you and your business. But because of that, they tend to, I take my husband for example. I cannot use him as an accountability coach, because if I need accountability, I'll tell him I need to do this, but I just don't want to. And he'll be like, oh, you deserve to take a break. Do it later. And he loves on me, and he enables me to postpone. And so having someone who's external, who is not connected to the success of your business directly, who is not emotionally tied into your business, I come in and I'm able to just see it for what it is and push you and challenge you at this level, because I'm not connected to your business directly. I'm connected to you, and I always want what's best for my clients, so I'm always going to push hard. So,
and I mean, I've worked with many of the coaches of all different varieties and such, and Hannah, you have given me the most accountability and the most consistency, and have seen me through so much in just the year and a half or so that we've been working together. And I feel like the last year has oddly been such a formative year in terms of like getting me to where I want to go in my ideal life. And I don't, it's not a 20-year plan for me, but it's been doing all of this and doing it today. And I am so thankful that it's today, and it's been, every week, because I've made so much progress, and I feel a bit on fire, and have no regrets, where I can look back on my 25 plus years of being an entrepreneur and kind of want to kick myself of like, why did it take so long to get from A to C, and now I'm getting from A to B to C. I'm making moves down the field every week. And sometimes sometimes I'm getting 10 yards, sometimes I'm getting 2 yards. Not to say I don't get knocked back sometimes and have to regroup, and move forward again and such. But you have just been really quite a blessing, and just very, I don't want to say magical. I mean, I just said it, but just magical in terms of what you've done, and I really, really appreciate it. So you guys, if you want to take some action today, and I know like you don't have much time, please go to Coach Hannah Cox. That's Hannah with an H at the end. And it's in the show notes, coachhannahcox.com/today. And that's where you can download Hannah's blueprint of what we talked about, that will walk you through these 5 strategies that you do today that gets you to where you want to go, and really helps you lead your ideal life and make these amazing visions come to life. Don't let other people beat you to success. I know you guys have tremendous passion. You want to make the world better, and you can do that as long as you get it out of your head. And ideally, you are aligning that ideal life. You're reverse engineering, you're prioritizing leverage every week, you're delegating, and you have external accountability to making that stuff happen all of the time. So thank you so much for joining us. coachhannahcox.com/today to get that blueprint. And cheers to another profitable day, my entrepreneurial friends.
Hey, this is Ro, And if you're a business owner struggling with hiring or just tired of doing it yourself, I highly recommend the Build Your Dream Team Secret Podcast series. There are 7 episodes packed with real stories from founders who've cracked the code on hiring, built high-performing teams, and finally got out of the day-to-day grind. My favorite part? It's not fluff. It's systems, strategy, and results. Text DREAM to 55444. That's DREAM to 55444 to check it out. You'll thank me later.